Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. Welcome over to A Deeper PTE. It is so good to have you all. Just laughing at the chat before we get started here. And I'm going to make a little announcement on permission to exist because there were a few people over there who wanted to see the show or see me cover this topic. So let me make sure everyone over there knows and we will get started. So, welcome everybody. Welcome to the show. Man, I can't believe, first of all, I can't even believe this topic has spiraled in the way in which it has. Okay. Like, I can't believe,
You
oh my
need to hear
God,
this.
why
Did
is
you
there still
know that your
sound
old
coming out of here? There we go. Okay. Share. And let me just get this done. My internet is acting janky. Copy. Wonderful. Welcome, everyone. We're going to get started here in a minute. I'm just getting ready to make a quick post on permission to exist if my internet will cooperate with me. Good to have you all. I hope you enjoyed the Fun with Scammers video that I posted earlier today on permission to exist. Man, what fun. That was fun. That was fun. As soon as I got that text, I was like, oh, I'm recording this. And post. Boom. All right. So the post has just been made on permission to exist. So we should be good to go. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, it's the year of the narcissist. Man, oh man, oh man. We have so much to talk about with this whole entire topic, okay? I don't even know where to start. I have some pretty strong feelings about it. If you want to know how I really feel, you should check out my channel on Odyssey called The Uncut Heathen. I covered my true feelings over there this morning. But because I'm not allowed to talk about certain things on this channel, I'm not going to bring up my true feelings here. I have three sets of feelings. I have the feelings if this was real. I have the feelings it was pretty priceless, right? I have the feelings if this was real. I have feelings if this was fake. And then I have my true, genuine, real feelings, which you'll only find on the Uncut Heathen on Odyssey. Okay? So, along those lines, those of you who used to tune in for the haircut shows, they will no longer occur on this channel. They will all occur on the Uncut Heathen, and we're 7 shows in over there. Okay? So, that's where you can find me. Not going to post a link because I don't think YouTube really likes that, but you can find your way there. It's not hard. Okay. So let us talk about this slap that was heard around the world. Uh-oh. Boom. There we go. Oh, man. I don't even know where to start. I don't know where to start, but welcome, everyone. So, why don't we just start? I have 3 sets of feelings regarding the situation. I have feelings if this was actually real. I have feelings if this was fake, and then my real feelings. So let's talk about, first of all, let's talk about the first big issue. I mean, I see I'm just scrambled. There's so many things to say about this issue. Like I could pull from anywhere. So I'm just going to talk real unstructured show. First of all, the first big discussion is whether or not this was even real. That is the first big topic of discussion regarding this issue. Was this real or was it staged? And the simple fact that we even have to ask that question kind of tells you where we are as a society, because it's sad because we don't know. Because let's never forget that these are 2 actors, okay? Who've been in Hollywood for a very long time and been in many movies, many TV shows, many commercials. So let's never forget that these were 2 actors at an award show for acting. So so let's actually never forget that little factoid, okay? That these weren't 2 random people. These are actors. They act. But with that said, who knows, right? So the first big topic of discussion is whether or not this was even real. And honestly, y'all, I have no idea. At this stage in the game, And with everything that's happened over the past couple of years, I don't know. I really don't know. So I'm going to address it from both sides, if it was real and if it was fake. So why don't we start off with if it was real? So if it was real, first of all, how weird. Like, see, I don't know. I just keep waffling back and forth. If this was a real situation, if Will Smith, oh, and by the way, I might do a call in show. Maybe, maybe. I'm thinking about it. We'll see. We shall see. But so don't hold me to that. But I might open the lines up and let y'all call in if you want to. So let me know how you feel about that. But if this was real, wow, man. Like, wow. Like, how very strange, how very bizarre, how very out of character for Will Smith, or at least what we think. We only know what he presents in real life. So, if it was real, let's address it from that side first. If it was real, most people kind of come to a consensus that, he should have done that behind the scenes, after the show, at an after party, something like that. You know what I mean? Um, not live on television in front of everybody. So the behavior itself is bizarre. And I do think there's a cause for that. And I spoke on that this morning on the Uncut Heathen. But how very strange. But at the same time, it makes you wonder what would make Will Smith, a very highly paid, highly decorated actor, just suddenly jump out, and go hit Chris Rock in the face. What would make him do that, right? And it's because, or it's being attributed to the joke that Chris Rock made about Jada's hair. So, some of you are probably wondering, like, how do I feel about the whole thing? Am I mad at Will Smith? Honey, no. No. Like, rent is going through the roof all over the country. I could care less. And it tickles me, and it kind of it humors me that everyone is so freaking upset about this. Like, y'all, like, people are getting their houses stole from them at the last minute. Rent is going through the roof. They claim there's about to be a food shortage. There's a conflict overseas in Russia and the Ukraine. No, I don't care. I don't care. And this is a culture that celebrates violence. This culture celebrates violence. You celebrate violent movies, violent music, violent TV shows. I'll never forget when I stopped watching The Walking Dead. And that's when I forget who it was. It was Negan. Negan, I'll say, fatally harmed some folks with a baseball bat. And after I saw that, I couldn't do it anymore. I was through with The Walking Dead from that day forward. Just too violent for me. So this is a violent culture. We celebrate violence. We love violence. We love violence so much that we do pretend violence and make believe violence. And we'll go sit and pay to watch make believe violence. We watch scary movies. We love listening to scary podcasts and things like that. Violent podcasts, real world violence. We love it. Right, exactly. Chat says that's when I stopped too. It went from walkers to people. I was done. Right? So this is a culture that absolutely loves violence. So the fact that everyone is clutching their dingy little pearls right now, acting like they are so horrified at this, tells me more about you than it does about Will Smith. Okay? It really does. Like, please stop. Okay? This is the culture that literally, and I keep bringing up Cardi B and I compare it to Cardi B because never forget, Cardi B tried to fight Nicki Minaj. I think it was at the Met Gala. It was at some formal Hollywood function where they're all dressed up, gussied up to the nines, and she's trying to fight through her shoe, right? But nobody batted an eye at that. And as a matter of fact, you all elevated her to the highest levels of celebrity after that. So please don't tell me that you're horrified at violence. You're not. You're really not. Okay. So that's one. But like, I don't get it. We act like we're a very pious culture, like we're Puritans and pure and, you know, don't put up singers like Cardi who sing about their disgusting WAP on TV, at award shows, games, wherever, and that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Then you see a little bit of real life violence and you're horrified. Like, please stop, guys. Please. Like, please, like, y'all are killing me. You're killing me with the fake outrage. So, again, and now that fake outrage has morphed into a kind of a mini cancellation. So, of all the people in the world, they are now trying to cancel Will Smith. Like, really? Like, you're trying to cancel Will Smith, I Am Legend, really? Men in Black, because he slapped Chris Rock for talking down on his wife? Man, please, man. Please, but whatever. You can get mad at whatever you want to. It doesn't change his bank account. So, apparently the Academy is in the process of disciplining him, and I wish you could see my face so you could see how hard my eyes are rolling into the back of my head. They're disciplining him now. Remember when I told y'all being a celebrity really sucks? I meant it. I meant it. And I'll explain why here in a minute. But being a celebrity absolutely sucks. It's not as fun as you would think it is. Sure, you have money, clothes, clout. You get invited to the best parties, best places. You can pretty much afford to live anywhere. Yep. But you are on a permanent rope and you are on a permanent pull chain. And when you get too far out of line, they snatch your chain. And you're really, truly not allowed to be yourself in Hollywood. You're not allowed to have a personality and be yourself. And I'm not saying this is Will being himself. I'm just saying being a celebrity absolutely sucks. It's not as fun as you think it is. It's like the ultimate corporate employee. That's what being a celebrity is like. It's like being the ultimate corporate employee. All right. You thought being in a corporation was miserable as a regular person. Imagine being the ultimate corporate employee, because that's what they are. Okay. So, right. And the chat says they didn't discipline Weinstein, Woody Allen, or Polanski. So anyway, we're still talking about assuming that this is real. So first you have, the fake outrage, the clutching of the pearls, which just tickles me to no end. But then the manosphere has inserted itself in this conversation in the most bizarre, odd way imaginable. And basically, the manosphere is upset that Will acted out in this way, considering Jada was very open and very public about her entanglement with August Alsina. And when I tell you the two do not compare, the two are not equivalent to each other. They're not equivalent situations, they're not equivalent circumstances. And from what I understand, well, I think August made a song, but I never heard it. But I haven't caught any wind of August actually like disrespecting Will in the sense of like speaking down on him or whatever. From what I understood, they were in an open relationship. So why is everyone all bent out of shape about that? Aren't they in an open relationship? Like I could have sworn in the past, Will and Jada came out and said that they're in an open relationship. So, and I really don't follow the family that closely. I don't follow them at all, to be honest with you. I don't follow a lot of celebrities, really. Any celebrities. That's what I thought. Chat says, don't they have an open marriage? That's what I thought. And I'll never forget. And it was years ago they came out and said that. And I'll never forget thinking to myself, oh man, like nobody can do it. Like Will and Jada are like one of the only couples we can hold up and say, hey, they did it. They made it, strong Black couple with kids, married in the industry, and they made it. So when they came out and said they were in an open relationship, I was like, oh man. I was like, damn, even they couldn't do it. But they're still married though. Let's never skate over that little factoid. They're still married. But anyway, That's what was so strange to me. So I was like, aren't they in an agreed upon open relationship? Didn't Will go on Red Table Talk and like talk to her about it? I never watched that episode, but I saw clips. And I remember when she said to him, like, it was an entanglement. He goes, an entanglement. And that's pretty much all I know about that. So I never saw the whole thing. But to me, I thought that was just part of their whole thing. I thought that was part of their whole deal. Like they date other people. And I just thought that was their little family arrangement, you know? But he stayed afterward. So I don't know. We don't know what goes on in people's homes, minds, bedrooms. We don't know whether or not Will has seen anyone on the side. Now, we haven't caught any wind of that. We don't know if that has happened. He may not have. He may not have that need in particular. Who knows? But to me, the way I perceived it with the limited information I had was that Will was all right with it. He seemed like, okay, well, she had an entanglement and then they moved on. So, however, though, the manosphere has stepped up on Will's behalf as his defender, saying, how could you do that when she openly cheated on you and you didn't have that same smoke for August Alsina? And again, we don't know what these people talk about in their house, home. We don't know. Like, you don't know what happened behind the scene. You don't know. He might have beat August Alsina up one day and August just took the L and went home. You don't know. We don't know. But to me, they're different because to me, there's an element of choice there. So in that particular situation, Jada chose to do what she did with August, whatever all that consisted of. And it was a consensual thing. Whereas Chris Rock ragging on her in front of basically all of Hollywood, you know what I mean? That wasn't really consensual. She didn't ask for that. So to me, you always have to keep that in mind as well. That was a consensual situation with August. And Chris Rock ragging on her hair, of all things, he should know better. He did a movie called Good Hair. So he should know how sensitive the whole hair topic is. But I must say, if this was real, if this was an actual real situation, it was nice to see a man, a black man, stand up to another black man who's dogging on a black woman, period. We're tired of it. We get it all day, every day, from every angle, primarily from black men. Like the white supremacists don't have to do anything anymore. Like they're probably bored. They don't have anything to do because black men literally took the baton and ran with it. So that's all they do all day long is dog on us. And no one ever stands up for us, ever, ever. So the fact that a black man, whether or not you agree with it, stood up for a black woman in the moment, I can't help but support that. And a lot of you can't relate because you're not the target. You're not targeted all day long, day in, day out. You're not the target of this constant attack about everything we do, everything we don't do, constantly. Like everyone loves to punch what they consider to be down on the black woman, and nobody defends us. So the fact that Will Smith stood up and basically said, "You're just not going to talk about her. You're not now, not then, not ever," and he smacked him in his face. Oh well, oh well. I bet you he'll think twice about talking about his wife again, or anyone's wife for that matter. Like you rag on Will, crack a joke on Will. You know what I mean? Crack jokes on him, but you don't come for my wife. Don't do it. So, it was nice to see if it was real. But this manosphere insertion, these are some strange men. I got a follow-up show coming for them on Permission to Exist for the Sick and Dangerous Men series. And that topic of that show is going to be fixation. And we're going to review the Department of Homeland Security's report on these men on Permission to Exist, possibly tomorrow, but if not, mm, it would have to be tomorrow, either tomorrow or probably Monday or Sunday. Who knows? But it's going to happen. But anyway, They are just they are falling all over themselves regarding this particular issue. Like, they're calling Will a simp, calling Jada a whore, like just dragging her name through the mud when these are the same men who used to fantasize about this woman. I'll never forget growing up. That's all you ever heard. Who do you want to marry? What celebrity would you marry? Oh, I'd marry Jada Pinkett. Oh, Jada Pinkett. I'd marry Jada. Jada's so fine. Jada. They loved Jada Pinkett Smith. Loved her, you know? And so now she's become the face of the whore, basically, to this group. So they're super weird. They find a way to insert themselves in any situation and try to make it about them, basically. God, I hate them so much. I do. But guess what? They are, woo, I need to save this content. This is for that show. But they are getting in so much trouble lately, y'all. Some of them are getting multiple channels deleted. A lot of them are starting to pivot, trying to pivot away from the Manosphere content because it has hit the radar of the FBI and the Secret Service and the Department of Homeland Security. It has hit all of their radars and they don't want to be associated. They're taking videos down, blocking them, unlisting them, all that, because they don't want to be associated because they know what they've done. And basically, the issue is it's not a free speech issue as much as the fact that you're motivating people toward violence, basically. You're inciting them towards this behavior. You're making them mentally ill. You are. And they're getting in trouble. And I think YouTube is trying to get out ahead of what's coming down the pipe for not only these creators, because keep in mind, they're only as powerful as YouTube allows them to be. And YouTube has allowed them to become quite powerful, and offered no protection to a certain group of people. Oh, y'all are going to get in trouble. You're already in trouble. You're already in trouble. And oh man, let me stop. This is content for that show. Let me just keep it. Let me just bottle that and I'll hold that until we actually do that show. But just know YouTube is already in trouble. They're in trouble. They're going to have to account for and answer to a lot of things. And that's why they're trying to jump out ahead of it now. And all these men are starting to get in trouble. So, yeah, it's about time. It's completely insane that it's going on this long on this platform. But anyway, so the Manosphere has inserted themselves and, they are just, they are really something else. Those are some special people, but we're going to talk about them. Now, another one on the line of if this was all real, understand that Will has officially stepped out of line. Again, this is assuming that this is real, that this is a real slap, real situation, totally unplanned, totally unpredictable. Understand then that Will has stepped out of line. And that's what I mean by it really sucks to be a celebrity. Really, really sucks to be a celebrity because Will has stepped out of line. There's a line that they have to walk. And he, unfortunately, is the typecast of what will be called the good Black man. Will is the good Black guy. Will is the ideal. Will is who they want everyone to be like. Will is who they want Black men to emulate. Do you understand? Charming, fun, funny, happy, neutral, not problematic. Like Will has never been a problem, at least not that I can recall to recent memory. Will's never really given us any problems, not even politically, I don't think. I don't really think he even knows or not knows. I don't think he makes his political voice known, even though most Hollywood actors are liberal and democratic and all that. He doesn't get into all that. Like Will is somewhere climbing a mountain and filming a podcast about it or a vlog, whatever. He's not a problematic character. He's exactly how they want him to be. And he stepped out of line. Do you understand? It's like, "Oh, no, no. Oh, no. Oh, no, no. No, 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 no." And now they're wagging his finger at him. They wanna take his Oscars away. The Academy is going to discipline him. "Oh, Will. Oh, no, no, no." He stepped out of line. Do you understand? Do you understand that if this was somebody like Future, if Future went up there and slapped Chris Rock, nobody would be having this conversation. Do you understand? Nobody. Nobody. If T.I. went up there and slapped Chris Rock, nobody would be having this conversation. They would be making memes about, well, they already are making memes about it, but it would be funny to everyone basically. But Will, no, Will, you're the good black guy. You don't step out of line, honey. Will stepped out of line. Remember, being a celebrity is the ultimate corporate employee. And there is a certain character that you must possess, and there's a certain path that you must walk at all times. And Will stepped out. Like, notice how there's like no forgiveness for this. Notice that they're not like, because normally what you would hear is something like, Will deeply regrets the events that took place on the evening of the Oscars, and Will is taking the time to deeply reflect on his actions and make the necessary adjustments to his behavior. And that would be it. They would come out with a statement, it would be super neutral and about how he's apologetic and he's reflecting. And then that would be that. They would move on. He would get cast in his next role, you know, no biggie. But it's like a sudden condemnation. Oh yeah, super a big ratings boost, right? It's like such condemnation as if we are, oh my, as if we protect children in this nation. Like, give me a break. As if, as if there was a post on an Instagram page called F Jerry, FUCK Jerry, which I'm sure some of you follow. And it was a video taken on an airplane, and there was a man sitting there watching some movie. I don't know what movie he was watching, but it had strippers in it. And the stripper, like the camera was right up close as the stripper's rolling all in the camera. Camera's all up in her stuff. And there's a little boy sitting off to the side, staring at the screen with his mouth wide open. Like the kid couldn't have been older than 10 or 11 years old. And the comment section was filled with people like, ha ha ha, he grew up that day. Ha ha ha, now he's a man. Ha ha ha, and his life was never the same. Like just laughing. And I was horrified. I thought it was completely disgusting. I thought it was a form of grooming in many ways. It was a form of grooming. Like you're a grown adult man on a packed airplane, and it was daytime. It's not like it was nighttime, a night flight, and you just want to watch a little adult entertainment before you nod off. It's the middle of the day, you're shoulder to shoulder with strangers. So much so to the point where someone can record your screen, and you're sitting here watching a dirty movie with this little boy sitting basically next to you. And everyone thought it was so funny. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay. So this culture is this same culture who would find something like that funny is horrified that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. Like, please stop. Please. Like, stop. Okay?" So that's my commentary regarding if it's real. I'm tickled at the fake outrage and the subsequent cancellation. I think the Manosphere's insertion into this conversation is very strange and very telling because what they're basically saying is they would have sat there and let another man disrespect their wife. Now, again, that's probably a conversation best handled off screen, off camera, backstage where nobody can really see. You pull them to the side, you have a conversation with them, right? But it happened in real time, it happened live, it is what it is. But what these men are basically saying is, "Oh, I wouldn't protect my wife in that situation. I wouldn't say anything. I would just sit there and be like, yep, yep, you shouldn't have cheated on me. So now you're going to get made fun of, and there's nothing I'm going to do. I'm going to sit right here while you get made fun of because you cheated on me." Like, weak. You're weak, 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 weak. You're weak. Okay. So now let's talk about if this thing is fake, which, man, there's a huge portion of me that leans towards this was an artificial event. This was staged. Couple thoughts. Yeah, like a big baby. No, well, you shouldn't have cheated on me. And now, see, now you're getting made fun of by everybody. And I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to sit right here like a big old baby because you cheated on me. Like, if that's how you feel, you should have left. You should have divorced her. You know what I mean? Like, if that's how you feel, divorce. But he didn't. You see, he's still there, right? So, anyway, let's talk about if this whole thing was fake, which I'm almost inclined to believe it is, y'all, for a couple different reasons. One was there's a part of me that thinks it's real, and there's a part of me that thinks it was fake. Seriously. Um, let's talk about it being fake. First of all, to me, when you watch it, and even kind of in this picture that we're looking at, they look like they're laughing. Like Will looks like he's laughing, like he's got a smirk on his face, like he's getting ready to slap one of his best friends. And Chris Rock kind of looks like he has a bit of a smirk on his face as he takes the hit. Because who could really keep a straight face in a situation? Well, they are actors. Actors are supposed to be able to keep straight faces. But there seems to be a slight smirk and a slight chuckle about both of them, right? So that kind of makes me think that maybe it was fake. Then the other part of me is kind of like, and y'all know I struggle with this, but who would mess up their own career like this? Who would do that? This man has been to multiple Academy Awards. Are the Academy Awards the same thing as the Oscars? They are the same thing, right? Oscars, Academy Awards, I think they're the same thing. I'll just say Oscars to make sure I'm accurate. This is not this man's first time to the Oscars. So he knows the decorum, he knows the forum, he knows what's expected of him behavior wise. Let's never rule out the fact that maybe Will had a little bit to drink that night. Maybe he had a little something something. I see one person says they're different and one person says they're the same. I think they might be the same, but I don't know. So I'll just say the Oscars. Will knows how to attend the Oscars. He's been to the Oscars before. This is not his first time at the rodeo. So the fact that he would risk it all, potentially knowing that it would be highly frowned upon, or maybe he didn't know. Maybe he thought people would be more supportive of him standing up for his wife and was shocked to find out that they weren't. Who knows? But who would risk their whole career like this? Like who? Like who would do that? That's so strange. Because to me, if you're going to risk your whole career like this, you might as well just punched him and stomped him out. You might as well, like if they're going to come down on you like this, you might as well have really gotten a good one in. You know what I mean? But just one heavy-handed slap to the face, and that was it. Then he walked off. Very sexy. I'm sorry. I just that strut when he got through hitting him, I don't know. I was attracted. I was turned on in that moment. I liked it. Okay. It's just that tall man walk. It's something only tall men can do. Actually, short men can kind of do it too, but it requires kind of like a hop. It requires like a pre-hop. I can't explain it, okay? But it was quite the mannish walk. I liked it, all right? Not gonna lie to you, okay? You liked it too, right? And the suit, okay? That shit was sexy. I'm sorry. So you can judge me if you want to, but that shit was sexy. All right. So anyway, who would risk their career like this, right? But let's get into some of the deeper stuff though. So I already saw this word come out in the chat a little bit earlier, and that word was ritual. Oh yeah, swagger is the perfect word. Thank you, Alexis. It was a swagger. There was such swagger about it. Like it, I don't know. I was turned on. So I don't care what you guys think. You can be horrified all you want. I just went woof. Because honestly, I'll be honest with you guys. I've never really found Will Smith like attractive. I don't think he's unattractive. He's not an ugly man by any stretch of the imagination. But like I just never, like he never really did anything for me. You know what I mean? He just didn't. All men don't do something for me. I don't think it's a requirement for all men to turn me on. I think that would be very problematic, actually. So I've never really like, I don't know. I know some women are crazy about Will Smith. I just never really was one of them. But honey, that strut after that firm backhand to the mouth, well, it was more of a front hand, but I think a backhand would have been more effective. Alexa said he's goofy. I think that might be what it is. It's a certain goofiness that just, it just doesn't turn me on. It just doesn't. But that walk, that walk off, I said, okay, I see you, Will. I see you. Now, listen, I want everyone to know I don't condone violence. As a matter of fact, I believe in using words first. I think words are positive, and I think words can be very effective. And I think we should always try to use our words first. As our first line of defense, we should try words. So, anyway, um, so yeah, so let's talk about the ritual, the Mike Lowry walk. Let's talk about the ritual, which kind of plays into another theory that I have. This almost seems like ritualistic humiliation. Right? It says, PT, we got to get you some counseling. I'm like, look, Mr. or Mrs. Therapist, I can't help it that the man was sexy after he open-handed slapped Chris Rock. What books do I need to read to readjust that framing? But anyway, this seems like ritualistic humiliation to me. Like he's got to go through the actual act, which was slapping Chris Rock in the face. And then he has to go through the public shaming and the public humiliation. He has to humble himself before, I don't know, man, I guess, and beg for forgiveness, beg for reconciliation, beg for acceptance again, beg to be readmitted into the academy, beg, beg, beg. And after a sufficient amount of begging, they'll let him back with a movie role and he'll probably be more successful than he ever was before. Chris Rock, on the other hand, will get the sympathy vote and everyone will feel all sorry for him and, baby him up, and he'll get to go talk about his experience being hit in the face by Will Smith at the Oscars. And he'll write a book or two. He'll do a comedy bit, just lots of great stuff going to come out of it ultimately. But anyway, there's a part of it that seems like an elaborate humiliation ritual. But then there's a part of it to me, y'all. I think they're doing something new with us. And here's what I think they're actually doing. Okay, so the Oscar is the award that is given at the Academy Awards ceremony. There you go. I think they're trying something new with us. And what I think they're trying with us is basically live action movies. So they are basically doing the movie live. So they're creating the movie in real time, involving everyone in real life, basically. So it's kind of like a new form of entertainment where there's this whole elaborate script, roles, everything, and it's just played out in a very public way. And this is the movie we're watching right now, The Slap Heard Round the World. That's the movie. And it's very interesting. I mean, everyone's been talking about it. Everyone's been blogging about it. People have separated out into factions, which I need to talk about here in a second. The factions. It's almost like a live action movie. And it's so hard for me to explain, but it makes perfect sense to me. Basically, you're part of it. You are officially part of the live action role play, basically. Whether you realize that or not. Ooh, somebody called it jester craft in the chat. Interesting. I'll be looking that up later. Jester craft. So that's almost what it feels like. Like, let's give the people something to chew on for a couple of weeks. So, first, well, I can't talk about that. First, we chewed on this one thing for 2 years. Then they ended that movie. Then they had you chew on the conflict that's happening internationally, had you chew on that for a couple weeks. And I thought they would have you chew on that a little bit longer. But apparently, they were ready to move on to the next one, which is this one. So now this is what they have you preoccupied with for the next 30 days, I guess. I don't know how long these movies actually last. So it'll be curious to see what movie comes up next. But let's talk about these factions really quick. I am getting so irritated, and other people have been irritated at this already for a long time. I think it just took me a minute to catch on, and it took me a minute to see it. But I'm really getting aggravated at the fact that everything that happens, people are trying to make you choose a side. Choose a side. Like, oh, do you support Will Smith or do you support Chris Rock? It's like I don't support either one of them. I don't have to. And you can't make me. Like, it's like everyone wants you to pick a side, and God, just so annoying. Oh my God. Who cares? Rent is going through the roof right now. Rent is going through the roof. People are getting their houses stolen from them at the closing table. Like, we got some real world issues. They claim there's about to be a food shortage. Like, there's this ongoing conflict that seems to reach a resolution, then goes back to not reaching a resolution. They can't figure out what to do with that one. So, like, we have bigger fish to fry. A celebrity slapped another celebrity. Okay. Well, to me, it's on Chris Rock to decide where this goes from here. If the Academy wants to discipline him, fine, discipline him. But either Chris Rock presses charges or he doesn't. Sounds like he's not planning on pressing charges. So I think we just got treated to either some really amazing TV or a really amazing live action role play, one or the other. But like watching people fall all over themselves regarding this issue and just the hearts bleeding all over the place regarding this issue just really, 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 really bothers me. Like, oh my God. But I see what people have been saying the whole time, though. But anyway, these factions, pick a side. Who do you like? I guarantee, well, never mind. Listen, pick a side. Do you support Will or do you support Chris? And I don't support violence. And shut up. Yes, you do. Yes, you've been supporting violence your whole life. Your whole life, you support it. Okay? You don't like real violence. You like fake violence. Got it. Makes a lot of sense. It really does. But anyway, these silly little factions have separated out now. And I just think it's funny. Like, by the time we're done, these boxes are going to be so small that they have people in, and you will not be able to move around in your tiny little box. But honestly, oh, the memes were great. Um, Going kind of bouncing back to the whole if this thing was real, like watching them pull Will's chain and put him back in line, honey, has really, really been something special to watch. I'm like, man, he was fine until he just went a little bit too far outside the fence and got that choke chain yanked. Yanked. So I don't know. I don't know, but I did want to talk about this. I'm going to mention it on the news break, but I'm not going to spend an excessive amount of time on it on Friday. But I wanted to talk about this issue with you guys. I just think, I don't know. Like, the issue is no one really knows if it was staged or real. So it becomes very, very challenging to form a solid opinion when the odds of this thing being staged are equally as high as it being real. I mean, it's seeming to have real consequences, but that could all be part of the movie. You understand? to keep us entertained. Since y'all won't go to the movie theaters anymore, they brought the movie right to you. So, and I just love how the Academy is acting like they are so pure. Like, I don't know. But anyway, do y'all want to call in? Do y'all want the link? If not, I'm going to go ahead and wrap the show. Those are pretty much my only thoughts. Determining whether or not it was real or fake. Parts of it seem real, parts of it seem fake, but never forgetting that these are both actors. That's one. Then the whole outrage and subsequent cancellation. Like, we're canceling Will Smith now? Really? Will? Okay. Oh, interesting. I won't read that out loud, but that is interesting, Anna. One of the Oscars sponsors. Hmm. Interesting. Very interesting. See, like this could all be one elaborate commercial. Like we could just be in the middle of a commercial. Chris Rock agreed to maybe $1 million to get hit in the face by Will Smith, whose form is excellent, by the way. That's some excellent form. So, and then we covered and touched on the Manosphere's very weird insertion into this whole conversation to where they somehow feel like Will violated them by slapping Chris Rock, as if Will technically didn't have to do anything in the moment. He could have waited, but since he chose not to wait, what was the alternative? Because here's the other question. How far was Chris Rock going to go? Was he going to keep ragging on her hair, or was that his one and only joke for the night? See, when I replay the conversation in my head, the conversation sounded real. But again, these are actors, because he was like, it was a G.I. Jane joke. Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth. He's like, wow, bro, it was a G.I. Jane joke, bro. Like it sounded like a real exchange. And the fact that he took the time to really yell out and articulate every single word, keep my wife's name out your effing mouth. And if anyone wonders why I won't play the video, that video is probably so covered up with copyright. I know other people have played it, but with this channel, I'm already on thin ice, so I don't want to risk it, so I'm not going to play it. But y'all saw it. You've seen the slap. You saw the slap heard around the world. Interesting. It says maybe Will was acting, but Chris wasn't. Interesting. Interesting. This is just the weirdest situation ever. So it says, see the pursuit of happiness homeless shelter scene. I need to go refresh my memory because I actually forget movies. It's really strange. I think I'm going to donate my brain to science. And that's going to be one of the things I tell them to study. I say, see if you can figure out why I could watch a movie from start to finish, be very involved in it. And then like a year or two later, I've completely forgotten everything, the whole plot, everything. Like I remember bits and pieces, almost like deja vu. But as far as remembering the movie, so I need to go see that. It says slaps seem to be a new trend. A German celebrity was slapped too. Well, you know what, guys? Let's look at the positive, right? At least they're not doing other kinds of violence that involve like firearms. At least people are going back to the good old days where people just used to get slapped. And that was that. The whole fight ended there. There wasn't a scuffle, there wasn't a tussle. You got slapped, you took your slap, and you went home. Nobody went and got the firearms. Everyone went home alive, and they just had man to man fisticuffs. So, you know, maybe this is a new era where we put the weapons down and we just open-handed slap each other in the mouth and let that be that. I'm only half joking, but I'm kind of serious. You know what I mean? Like everyone wants to react so violently. Well, why don't we go back to the good old days where they would have they would call each other outside. They would say, let's go meet on the old dirt alley. I don't know, and have a man to man. I'll slap you in your mouth, you slap me or whatever. I don't know how these things work. Yeah, right. And that's the other thing. The chat says Chris didn't back off from the slap. He expected it. He actually leaned in. Yes, he did. A duel. Thank you. A good old fashioned duel. Chris leaned in. Like he was very much leaned in to the slap. Man, I don't know what's going on. We live in a very strange place. Strange place. Strange, strange people. I really think we're being toyed with. It feels like an episode of Black Mirror, honestly, which I meant to review when I first watched it. And I got it all set up to review, and then I got distracted. And then I saw it the other day, what I had set up, and I was like, damn, it's so unfortunate because I don't even remember the episodes. Watched them all. Can't remember the plot. I only remember the plot on a few of them, but I've already forgotten every single one. So now I have to go rewatch it just to do the review. But this feels like an episode of Black Mirror. So I don't know, y'all. It could have been real 100%. And if it was, wow, like we got to witness a very, very strange thing. I think there might be a little something extra pushing Will to do that if this was real. There might have been a little bit of an extra push there. I just can't elaborate on that here. I'll just say people have been finding a lot of new courage lately. Lots of new courage, lots of new energy, new excitement, and new motivation that we haven't seen before out of people. So I don't know what's causing that, but I have my theories. So if it was real, wow, man. Like either Will didn't expect this reaction out of people or he just did not care. He might have just reached a point in his life where he just doesn't care anymore. That too. It could have been liquid courage. He might have been temporarily possessed by a demon. So who knows? I don't know. So if it was real, very bizarre, very strange situation, people seem to have no problem throwing away their brand, their career, their everything. No problem doing so. However, if it was fake, how weird. Like, what a weird thing to fake. And like, why? To drive ratings to the Oscars? Because you knew hardly anyone would be watching? Is that why? So you hope maybe next year somebody will get slapped again? Like, I don't understand what the purpose of faking it would be other than just to kind of redirect the public's attention. Like, all right, this is the issue you care about this week. Oh, gotcha. Wink, wink. Gotcha. Um, so I don't know, y'all. I don't know, but I look forward to reading. Oh, really? It says, I actually think Will is heading for a nervous breakdown. Now, that would be interesting because that would actually kind of play into my actual theory that I'm not allowed to talk about. That would play into that. Kind of like, let me see. Have you ever heard, and I don't know how true these are, haven't really looked into it, but have you ever heard of stories of people who are actually not very healthy? As a matter of fact, they might be terminal with maybe cancer or something. But then like right before they pass, they suddenly like have all this energy and it's like they're back to their normal selves for like a day, for like 24 hours. It's almost like they were never affected by cancer at all and then like the next day they die. Similar, I'm not saying Will is unwell. I'm saying it's a very similar pattern to go from this baseline to this sudden like person that no one really recognizes. And then what comes next will be very telling. Like very, very, very telling. So Kimberly, pencil snapping all over the place. Thank you. That I can say. Pencils snapping all over the place. Okay? Snapping left and right. Okay? So I think we should keep an eye on this. It'll be interesting. Oh, you know what? I had more thoughts. I'm wrapping the show. I had a few more thoughts. So if you guys are serious about canceling Will Smith and punishing him and hanging him out to dry for this act, then I think you need to be consistent in your philosophy and let's start to apply it across the board. Okay, we don't like violence, then let's stop making violent movies. Let's stop making violent video games. And probably most important, let's stop making and publishing violent music since we're so outraged about violence. I like it. Hey, let's bring an end to our violent culture. Maybe Will Smith was the one and the person that needed to wake us up to who we were. And I just personally think that if we are going to condemn this and come down on this the way that people have been, then we really need to apply it across the board and start to clean up our act across the board. No more violent movies, no more violent video games, and no more violent music. And let's see if you really put your money where your mouth is, and let's see if you're truly aligned in what you believe. Let's see. So I think that will be very, very interesting. Yeah, I heard about Bruce. I'll be covering that on the Uncut Heathen. I heard about Bruce. Bruce, I can't pronounce it. I think Bruce got diagnosed with like aphasia or something. And I've never heard of that before, but apparently it affects your speech, your hearing, your ability to listen, talk, like basically everything. And it's very similar to, never mind, let me not even say words like that. I'm not even going to talk about medical stuff over here. We will be covering all that on the Uncut Heathen. When? I don't know, but soon. Very, very soon. So, but yeah, let's be consistent then. If we're this outraged about Will's violent act against Chris Rock, then let's be consistent and let's clean up our act across the board. And let's see if y'all are really serious about this thing, okay? But with that, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap the show. I appreciate you all being here. And I knew this was something y'all really wanted to talk about. And I'm just fascinated by all the different takes. There's like a million different takes. Then you got Jim Carrey jumping out there. What did Jim say? Let me see what Jim said, because I was really irritated by him. Jim Carrey, Will Smith. What did he say? He said celebrities are no longer the cool club. Boy, oh, and he was sickened by the standing ovation for Will Smith at the Oscars after slapping Chris Rock. Like, y'all are so fake. You're so phony, man. I was sickened. I was I was sickened by the standing ovation, which, by the way, we should talk about that. Sorry, I keep wrapping up and then forgetting something. And shout out to Brandon. Thank you, Brandon, for hitting the Cash App. I appreciate you so much. So, so much. And I certainly appreciate all of you who support the channel, including my patrons, who I don't shout out enough. I have a steady group of patrons who have supported me for a long time. So thank you to my patrons. I appreciate you all so much. But let's talk about that really quick. So it's like everyone was so horrified, right? But then they gave him a standing ovation when he won his Oscar. So, like, it's almost like they hadn't received their marching orders yet. They didn't know what to think. They didn't know, oh, we're supposed to be outraged at this. Oh, crap, you know? And they're claiming that they asked Will to leave, but he refused to leave after he slapped Chris Rock. And if that is the case, that gives a lot of credence to the whole pencils snapping. A lot of credence. Okay. But yeah, like how weird. Like everyone stood up and clapped, apparently. And then the next day they were like all outraged. Like, stop. Stop. Get outraged over rent prices. Get outraged over that. Get outraged over this broke down supply chain. Get outraged over that. Get outraged over things like that. So, to me, this is not worthy of outrage. Was it embarrassing for Will? Maybe, but you never know. Will may not be embarrassed. He may not. Like, of course, he came out with the apology and all that, but he may not be embarrassed. He might not be. He might be quite proud of himself. Who knows? So I don't know, y'all. I don't condone violence. I condone using your words first. I think we should always try words first. Always. Words are powerful, all right? But words can come with consequences sometimes, as we have learned. Okay? So, anyway, with that, that's all I have to say. And I'm going to go ahead and close the show. And I look forward to reading all of your comments once they process and upload, which could take up to 24 hours. So if you come back to look at the show and you're looking for the live chat, it may not appear till this time tomorrow night, because that's just what happens for some reason. But you really think so? Aware, that's what you really think? You think it's that bad? See, I don't know. I don't know. But I guess we shall see. So let's keep our eyes on it, you guys, and try to get outraged over things that are truly outrageous. Okay. These are actors at an Academy Award show. Never forget that. Okay. And with that, I appreciate all of you, every single one of you, so much. Have a great rest of the night, and we'll talk again very soon. Bye.